What's up, Mixed Reactions? This is Ian. I'm in Arkansas, and it is a gorgeous Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. I got the date right this time. I'm with my good pal and co-host, Casey Merritt. How you doing today, bud?
No complaints on my end. Doing good.
Yeah, and it's another good week in the NFL football. We definitely had quite
I
a bit of
wouldn't go that far, but it was another week in the NFL. I don't know what a good week. I haven't had a good week in about 5 weeks now.
No, I mean for you it wasn't a good week, but we had some drama. Bears finally scored and then did the most Bears thing and got their field goal blocked. Seahawks ended up winning a shocker. So that was a bit surprising to me. I thought the Niners were going to win big.
Bills won
And
the game of the year so far.
yeah, no, the 72 Dolphins can rest easy. Buffalo winning at home where their fans started drinking at, I'm sure, 3 a.m. and beat Patrick Mahomes. So Chiefs are now 9-1. Still, obviously, they control their own destiny for home field advantage in the playoffs.
So let me ask you about that real quick. There's a lot of different scenarios that I've been hearing and from a lot of different perspectives regarding that Chiefs loss. Now, a lot of people are pointing out that it's kind of a testament to the Chiefs' flaws as a team, and Buffalo was able to expose those. And they think that it could absolutely be a sign of things to come for Kansas City. Then I've heard it from the other side of the angle, which is not that it's a good thing that they lost, but it shows that they do have a few things to tighten up. And as an organization, it's only going to strengthen them because they're not going to have 2.5 months of meaningless football. How do you view that?
When you say 2.5 months of meaningless football, what do you mean?
So, in a sense, 2.5 months of meaningless football, meaning they have everything wrapped up by the end of
Right,
November.
that's what I was kind of thinking you meant, right?
Because you got to think, if Kansas City had went into Buffalo and won that game, they would have been damn near 3 full games up. And all it really would have taken was another week or so for Kansas City to wrap up the 1 seed. And so that means they almost could have gone into week 15, 16, and 17 playing meaningless football. Of course, you want to count, going for the undefeated streak as not meaningless. But as far as everything is wrapped up and they don't have anything to fight for, and so they could have lost their edge that way. So how do you view their loss?
That's a good question. And my answer is I see both perspectives. I kind of see it as a combination of the two. I mean, we talk about, like you said, I think the word you use from the people not taking the extreme perspective and then getting exposed. They say, well, they have things they got to tighten up. They did get exposed, but you're right. It does make it to where they're not going to have everything wrapped up by week 15. Because at this point, Buffalo 9-2, Kansas City 9-1, and they're going to have to look over their shoulder. So I see it from both perspectives. 72 Dolphins, like I said, can rest easy. But
They sure can. Hey, do me a
think,
favor.
Yeah.
We have a guest that would like to join. Check your phone real quick.
My messenger?
Yep, we have a guest that wants to join.
Okay. I got you.
I see what you're saying, though, because it could definitely be. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Because it could definitely be a sign of things to come for him, because we know their offense hasn't looked up to Kansas City standards for a better majority of this season. And of course, this was the first game that they've allowed 30 plus points since the Super Bowl of last year, or 2 seasons ago, rather now.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. I mean, I get what you're saying, and like I said, I get both perspectives. But Buffalo's a good team. I mean, at this point,
Buffalo's
they've
a
won
damn good
6
team, and
games.
they won the game pretty handily. Like, yes, it was a 9-point game, but Buffalo was in control for a good portion of it.
For most of the game, and then I think they made the right decision going for it on that 4th down, not giving
Absolutely.
Patty Mahomes the ball back. Because at first, and I'll admit, I was wrong, not wrong, but I was kind of thinking like, damn, like trust your defense a little bit. When teams like the Chiefs, they want to go for broke because they're scared. But Buffalo's good
Well,
enough
Buffalo's been
to
burned one too many
execute.
times by Kansas City. They learned their lesson, and they went about it
They're
the
not
right
going to
way.
give Patty right. They're not
Yeah,
going to give
you
him
don't
the
give a
ball.
quarterback
Right.
like Mahomes the chance to win the game. Like, you
Oh,
go and you take advantage of it.
there was what, like 3 minutes left when they scored three something,
Exactly. And
something like
then
that.
say a field goal, right? A field goal only gets them up 5.
Yeah, no, a field goal would have only put them up 5. Yeah, no, I mean, I can't really disagree with the decision. It was a good decision, and then you have a guy like Josh Allen who was able to. They're saying the touchdown of the year. Great
Oh,
run.
it's got to be so far.
That was, I don't know, man. That's the thing is Kansas City. Like you said, now they're gonna have to really tighten.
A lot of
They're
things
not
up.
tighten things up. Yeah, we'll tighten a lot of things up because at this point, if they lose one more game, oh shit. That's the first tiebreaker in the NFL, correct? Is the head-to-head?
Yes.
Yeah, and if they lose another game, they don't control their own destiny. And I know they have confidence they can
I
win the
say I'm
playoffs.
not too worried about them if they didn't get home field advantage. They showed last year that they don't need it to go through the AFC. But at the same time, there's a AFC championship game at Arrowhead is almost a done deal victory for the Chiefs at this point.
Yeah, I mean, but then also and I heard them talking on one of the I think like the NBC wrap up show or whatever. They've been squeaking by us,
Squeaked
they've
a
been
lot of
squeaking
the
by,
yeah.
and they finally
I said
they
it
like
two
look if
months
you look
ago.
at the
The
point
Chiefs do
differential.
not blow teams out. They stick. It's almost like they
And
play to their competition every week, and that's
yeah,
eventually going to come back to bite you.
and if you look at the point differential difference between them and Buffalo, I mean, Kansas City on the season total plus 49, Buffalo plus 106. Like Buffalo, ever since they've been 3-2, they've looked good. I mean, I had them losing last week against the Colts because I thought it was a letdown spot. They played good. Colts kept turning the ball over. And then obviously they had the wins a few weeks before that. Gets blowing out the Titans, blowing out the Seahawks. And their losses came in back weeks against the Ravens and Texans, respectively. But Bills are going to play the Niners on the first, which okay, that must mean they have a bye this upcoming weekend, and they come to LA. So, and I think the last time they played in LA is when they crashed our Super Bowl celebration and beat us down on the first game a few years ago. So, uh, and we're definitely going to talk more about the Chiefs, but we got it's not tradition, but we just got to kind of do it. We talk about all of our teams on every show. What the fuck is wrong with the Cowboys?
I mean, dude, I've been saying it for 6 weeks now. It's the same thing every single week. They can't stop the run. They can't run the ball. They're poorly coached. They make bone-headed penalties at the worst particular times. They cannot sustain a drive. They have no separation outside of CeeDee Lamb at their receiver core. Jalen Tolbert cannot get open. Jake Ferguson went out last night. So did 3 other offensive linemen. This is the most decimated team I've ever seen. And they weren't doing that great when they were all healthy. So I'm not saying it makes a huge difference, but they definitely wouldn't be 3-7 if everybody was healthy. But at the same time, there were flaws from this team from the get-go, and it dates all back to Jerry Jones and what he didn't do in the offseason. Obviously this season is a wash. It's over. But this is borderline the worst Cowboys team I've ever seen. Ever. I cannot remember a worse team. They are getting blown out every week. The Saints have scored more touchdowns in AT&T Stadium this year than the Cowboys.
Well, how many did the Saints score in that game? Like 5?
6 6.
That's wild. You guys still haven't won at home.
We have not won at home since the end of the regular season last year.
I don't know, man. It's just getting to the point where you got here. I'm actually putting it on my computer now. But I mean, because I was saying last night, they just look so fucking bad, dude. I mean, you guys get that pick, and it was in the end zone or it was damn close to the end zone, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
Malik Hooker got that pick, and then Cooper Rush threw a pick about 3 plays later.
And then Joe Mixon scores. They rule him down. And then the very next play, he disrespectfully on that play around the right side, high steps into the end zone. And
You know what's sad? The
huh.
Cowboys were in that game till about midway through the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it was what, a 3-point game at halftime. It was 13-10, huh?
14-10. It was a 4-point game. And
okay.
somehow, some way, fucking Brandon Aubrey misses a field goal because he slips on the turf. He was 34 of 34 at home in field goal kicks, and he misses a 40-yarder. Now, a couple of possessions later, he nails a 64-yarder, but there's a personal foul. This sums up our season beautifully, right? I'll just say it like
Hey,
this,
Casey,
right?
you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure because I'm on the good laptop now for sure. Good deal.
Yeah, I can hear you. So this sums up Dallas' season in a nutshell. So Brandon Aubrey drills a 64-yarder, which would have cut it to a 7-point game. It'd been 20-13. So what ends up happening after that, I don't know if you saw the game at all. Houston gets a personal foul, automatic first down for Dallas.
Ooh.
Next play, Cooper Rush hits Jalen Tolbert 15 yards, down to the 20. Not bad. I'm liking it. I'm like, okay. Let's get something going. Gets to about third and I think 17 or something around that nature. Cooper Rush throws a pretty nice ball to CeeDee Lamb, gets 15 yards. It's 4th and 2. And I'm like, let's just take the points. Let's cut it to a one-score game. Take the points. Come on, kick the field goal, McCarthy.
Right.
No, McCarthy doesn't do that. He goes for it. He sends Cooper Rush on a rollout to the right with one receiver trailing him. Nobody's open, and he just throws it out of the back of the end zone. Turnover on downs, no points. Houston ball.
Yeah, no, that's funny. That really is the if you could sum up their season in one sequence, it would have to
That's
be that.
it. 100%.
Because that's even when you know what I mean. Like even though you drill a 64-yarder, every single coach is obviously going to say, "All right, give us the automatic." Like nobody's declining that shit.
No, of course.
But it's like you go and you can't even get 3. See the momentum, like because when they had, because like I said, I fell asleep. It was about midway through the third quarter, or it was before that. It was maybe the beginning of the third quarter because halftime was just wrapping up. But yeah, no, that just sounds wild. And you guys are probably at this point gonna be picking top 5.
I
Hilarious.
seriously hope we do. I'm at the point where I do not want to win any more games this season. I want to get a top 5 pick. I told you exactly what I want Dallas to do last show. I want them to get top 3 pick, draft Shedeur Sanders, get Dion as our coach, trade Dak to either Carolina or to the Saints, someone who's dumb enough to absorb his contract. And I would, I humbly thank Dak for his services. He fit the role for what he needed to do for a great majority of his career. I have nothing but respect for Dak Prescott. But his time in Dallas needs to be over. And then with that, trade Dak for the 5th pick or the 4th pick, whatever it's going to be, and go get Ashton Genty. And I know it's a pipe dream. Trust me, I know. But that would be my ideal scenario for the Cowboys right now. Get Shedeur, get Dion as the coach, get Dak out of there, and then go draft who I think is almost a cannot miss at running back.
I try to call the person who shouldn't join the show. Like I said, I put mine on do not disturb, so nothing interrupted it, and they're not answering. Just so you know.
Okay.
I left my phone alone because I don't want to end it and then end the whole show. But yeah, no, I mean, at this point, it's like you said, I thank you for your services. He's been good throughout his career. I've never thought I mean, shit. Last year, midway through last season, he had MVP type numbers. But
he did.
it's
No,
time for Dak to.
it's not. it's not anything against Dak, like personally, but of course not personally, but not even as a player is it against him. He has been very, very good for a great majority of his career, but it's just not. It's
Working
not
out.
working anymore.
Well, almost one of those things like it's not you, it's me. You know, and it's he might
I
find
think both of
success
them
somewhere.
could benefit from it.
Yeah, certainly. I think Shador, man, I think he'll be a pretty good pro. And I'd be interested to see how it work out with the Dion dynamic being there. And some people, I don't know if it's confirmed. I've heard some people say Dion just said he doesn't want to coach pros. He seems like a very good mentor to younger college level guys, but he understands. I mean, shit, he played pro in 2 different sports. If anybody understands how to make it as a pro, it's Deion Sanders.
Absolutely. And so I think obviously Dion still has ties to Jerry Jones. They're still close.
Oh yeah.
If Dallas, oh wow, Celtics up 15. If they
Damn.
were to draft Shador, I think Dion would absolutely go coach the Cowboys. He won a Super Bowl with Dallas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't. What do you want? One of them with them, right? The last one against what?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I like you said, like this is shit. In the whole time I've been watching football, this is the first time I can remember the Cowboys being since I've known you. At least this is the first time I've known them being this. Like
Bad.
they're not good. They're
They
bad.
don't
They
do
suck.
anything well. They don't do anything well. Nothing. There's not one thing you can point to. Well, okay, they kick. Brandon Aubrey's a hell of a kicker. That's it. That's the only thing they do well. They don't defend the pass well. They don't defend the run well. They don't have good play calling. Their receivers can't get open. They can't run the ball. Their play calling is atrocious. Their defensive intensity is not there. There is nothing that they do well. Like I said, it is by far the worst Cowboys team I've ever seen. So enough about a team that has no shot, Ian. I wish Justin was here because your teams had a really good game this past Sunday.
Yeah, we did.
It was a really good game. Your Rams ended out on top. What was your analysis from the game? What do you think of Drake May? What do you think of how almost like New England's turnaround has been? Like, not that they're a good team, but have been playing much better. And then Matt Stafford looked phenomenal for a good portion of that game on Sunday.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, both quarterbacks look great. Drake May, definitely impressive. And like I was telling Justin in the group chat, they're good. I didn't think the Patriots played a bad game at all. It seems like Drake May really likes Demario Douglas, Hunter Henry. I think you guys were saying last week he's not great, but he's good. You know, he'll get you through. But yeah, I mean, he took a big sack in the first quarter and came back second quarter, and came back and still ended up balling out. I mean, 30 for 40, 282 passing yards. The first touchdown to Kendrick Bourne was pretty nice. And then it seems like he's really liking Demario Douglas, Hunter Henry. And yeah, Drake May looks really good. They're using a lot of play action. He seems comfortable. He's making those second reads. And I'm intrigued to see what he's gonna do. But like I was telling Justin this week, I'm sorry, we just played better. We had 3 different guys score. We had Cooper got 2. And then Puka had that gorgeous catch out of the back of the end zone.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Man, Parkinson gets his first target in 3 weeks. He scores. You know what I mean? And we, I thought we looked really good.
You did. You absolutely did.
And Drake May.
I think right now you guys are the best team in your division.
Yeah, it's debatable. You know what I mean? Like the Niners aren't looking like what they were supposed to. But yeah, overall Drake May just impressed me. I mean, we had 1 pass in the first quarter when it was going to God, I was watching it earlier. Was it Bohr? Was it Douglas? Oh no, it was Austin Hooper, where the ball just went right through his hands. And I think that was a drop by Hooper. He threw it, kind of was headed. It looked like watched it at first. It looked like it was a bad throw, and then you look and not like it was. He could have caught it, and it just slipped out of his hands. That would have got him a first down. Yeah. So Drake May overall looked good. He threw 1 pick. It happens. It is what it is. He got absolutely leveled on that sack.
The sack fumble?
Yeah, but other than that, my bad, G.
You're okay. By the way,
Mm,
Celtics up 17 to end the half.
Are you serious?
I told you it's not a close competition. The Celtics are by far the best team in the league. It's not close.
The thing about the Rams, though, we barely won the game, and then you saw that fuck, what's his name, the offensive lineman. Then when he scored the touchdown, they didn't even have the graphic,
Yeah.
for his face because they just weren't ready for it. But I mean, we got good games from our best players, and we barely won the game by 6 points. Like it could have easily
Look,
swung either way.
the Patriots, although have the same record as the Cowboys, look much better. There's a different level in those 3-7 teams. Much different.
Yeah, and that's what because I was actually gonna make that statement a second ago. I was like, hey, like, at the beginning of the year, who would have thought that out of all of our teams, yours would hands down be the most
Be the
atrocious.
worst.
And then I looked at the records. I'm like, oh shit, you guys have just as I think you guys have played what? You guys are 3-8, right? They're 3-7.
No, we're 3-7.
Oh, okay, they're 3-8 after the loss. But I think it's just we kind of expected the Patriots to go through their learning curves, and they've gotten better as the season's gone along. I mean, if they would have won yesterday, that would have been 2 weeks in a row where they picked up a victory.
It
but
is ironic because for the past 2 seasons, Dallas has been the best team out of ours by far.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, you guys have really been the best team for sure.
What's that?
I'm saying,
Your mic's cutting out.
my bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
That was fucking weird. But yeah, no, you're right. Out of the three of our teams, Dallas was the only team that, as after the Rams won the Super Bowl in 2022.
That's what I'm saying. Like last year and the year before, Dallas was by far the best team out of all of ours.
Yeah, and I know Justin was mentioning it too in the group chat. All these little dump off and screen passes that Drake made, like they're working. Like the Rams cannot
They're
figure out
effective.
any way to stop them. Like I said, he seems to like Demario Douglas, Hunter Henry. I mean, I think he's gonna be his favorite target week in and week out. Like he's solid. And then yeah, I mean let's be real. The Patriots still don't have any receiver that you could look at and be like, he's a playmaker. We have two.
None.
We have Puka and Cooper Cup.
I
And then,
am starting to have a little bit of for Demario Douglas. He is shifty when he gets the ball in his hands.
He's very shifty.
Now, is he a number one receiver? No, absolutely not. But when he gets the ball in his hands, he is a playmaker.
Sorry, and by the way, it wasn't Austin Hooper that dropped that pass. It was Kayshon Boutte. Sorry, I kept forgetting. It was, but I mean, shit, that was on a third down, I believe. So they would have gotten the first down, and that kind of killed that. Kind of kill what they had going there. But I mean, they're mixing in a lot of play action, and Drake May's looking really comfortable rolling out too. Like he's looking comfortable. He ran the ball 3 times, but I mean, they're doing a lot of play action, and there's multiple plays where he scrambled, whether he just dump it off or whether he actually decides to try to use his wheels.
Call him again.
For sure. But yeah, I mean, he's taking his time. He doesn't look rushed back there, even though we blew. I'm calling him right now. But even though we blew Drake May up a few times, he doesn't look rushed. He looks patient in the pocket. And when he threw the touchdown to that fat motherfucker, you know what I mean? That was just a nice play design by the Patriots. Yeah, I just called him 3 times. I have 3 different Skypes of his, and I don't know. Maybe he needs to switch to online.
It says live Sean Mike 517.
Oh, hold on, I got you. Live. What is it?
Live, and then it's like the God, what's that sign? It's like 2 periods on. It's 2 periods on top of one after another, top of each other.
Colon?
Yeah, no, it's not. It might be it's not a semicolon. I don't know.
Live Sean Mike 517.
Yep.
Okay, I see it. I got you. I just invited him, so okay, now it says it's calling. But yeah, man, it was it's gonna be exciting. But like I said, Matthew Stafford looked good.
Yeah,
Cooper
he did.
Kupp was obviously getting loose.
I think you guys are at least arguably the best team in your division. I mean, look at the fall off of San Francisco. They just kind of had a really rough slump losing to Seattle. Arizona, I don't have too much faith in. I know they've had moments of looking good throughout the course of the season, and I definitely don't trust a team led by Geno Smith. So I think the Rams have a really,
This man's on the
really.
mic.
It is Sean Mike. We're right now, Sean. We are discussing the Rams and the Patriots.
The Rams and the Patriots.
Yes, sir.
I didn't watch 1 second of that game.
I love how he comes in so honest about it.
I mean, I didn't watch 1 second of the Falcons and the Broncos, and the Falcons
Oh, that
got
was
Because they were
piss
on at
beaten
the
out of
same
them.
time.
Oh yeah, you guys did play. Did you guys win by like 30, no?
Yeah. Bo Nix threw for 4 touchdowns,
But yeah, I watched the Rams game Sunday, and then I was watching the
Yeah.
highlights again this morning. Drake May is the truth, man. Like, he looks comfortable.
He
Like,
does look comfortable.
he doesn't
You can
look
tell
like
a
he's
huge
rushed.
difference between May and Brissett, what their Patriots offensive looked like. I'm still not saying they're a great team because they're not. They're not good. They're not going anywhere. But they definitely made the right choice so far, it would appear, at quarterback. Now, another team
30,
that
40,
looks like
280
they
yards.
made the right decision at quarterback is the Denver Broncos. Sean Gardner, welcome back to Mixed Reactions. How do you feel about your Broncos so far this season?
Pretty good, honestly. I mean, how can you not? Anytime you have a potential Rookie of the Year candidate, at quarterback, how can you not feel good? And coming off after such a frustrating loss that broke me, guys. That
I
Chiefs
know it
game
did.
broke me.
I know it did.
I was telling
did
Merritt, I wish
not
I was in
watch
the room with you.
any
watching that.
football. I was planning on, because every Sunday I cancel everything, any work I got to get done. It's reserved for NFL football.
Of
But after
course.
that field goal was blocked, I turned off my television and I didn't watch football for the rest of the afternoon. I've never been broken from that game. It felt like the Ravens game in the playoffs where Peyton Manning was the quarterback, like 2013. It was that
Got
same type
burned.
of feel. But
Yeah.
Bo Nix able to hold on, I got some technical issues here. But no, Bo Nix able to respond back the way he did, the whole team, the way they were able to respond back, I thought was phenomenal against a pretty good quality opponent. Not like Super Bowl contending component, but definitely a team that can contend for a playoffs in the Falcons. I think
Yeah.
they're a pretty good
A
opponent.
division leader.
With a slaughter like that. And Sean Payton owns the NFC South. Can I just say that? Because he swept the division with the Broncos, which that's crazy. Broncos haven't swept the division since 2015, and they didn't in the North. But yeah, no, for Bo Nix to come out, throw 4 touchdowns with decent receiving core, not amazing because they're still paying Russell Wilson. Imagine what the offense is going to look like when they're able to invest in some dogs at the receiver position, get a tight end. The future's looking good in Denver.
I think that's especially with what they are able to do with what they have. I think Denver could be a hot commodity in free agency when that rolls around this coming up off season.
Absolutely.
I mean, Bo Nix has, outside of Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix has by far looked the best out of the quarterbacks. When you look at, no offense to Drake May, because he's looked good, but they're not winning. Denver's winning. So that just automatically to the eye test makes it more impressive.
Yeah, when you're winning, that changes things for sure.
Absolutely. And I mean, outside of Daniels, I would easily right now put Bo Nix number 2.
I think
No
the gap
question.
between Nix and Daniels isn't as far as people think. I think there's a
It's
legit
not.
case for Bo
Well,
Nix.
after
to be
last
made
week, yeah,
Rookie
for
of the Year.
sure. A couple weeks ago, yeah, Daniels.
He looked like he was
yeah,
running away with it.
Exactly, but yeah, it's crazy how a couple weeks can change so much in the NFL. But yeah,
Yeah,
no,
unless you're the
Mayor,
Cowboys.
I mean, Casey, I agree with you on what you were saying about the free agency. It's just the whole Russell Wilson situation kind of messes that up. I'm not exactly sure where they're at with that this offseason. I have to do some research on that, but that is really what's holding them back is that Russell Wilson contract.
Yeah, because I know as of this season, you're still paying him a decent amount of his contract proportion compared to what Pittsburgh is, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're basically paying Pittsburgh to be, what are they, 8-2 right now?
Yeah, Russell's, I can't lie, he's kind of had a resurgence. Obviously, Justin Fields was the
He
starter.
wasn't
for
that
the
bad
first, I
last
think,
year,
5
though.
games.
Man. People forget that.
No?
It gets overshadowed. He was not that bad last year at all.
No, he wasn't the problem in Denver.
Mike Tomlin's just a good coach, too.
He's
He's going to get coach of the year easily.
Over Dan Campbell?
Over Dan Campbell, yeah.
That's tough. You could also argue Dan Quinn in Washington, too, though, the way he's turned that franchise around.
That's true. There's a lot of good candidates for coach of the year. It'll be interesting. My money's on Tomlin, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the other two.
I mean, it ain't Mike McCarthy.
What's that?
I said it ain't Mike McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy. Yeah.
It ain't Sean McVay either, but I have no problems with our head coaching situation, and I'm very
No,
thankful. for
McVay's
that.
great. McVay's solidified. He's a great coach. You guys have nothing to worry about in the coaching department at all.
Yeah.
So you weren't here for this, Sean. This is my pipe dream scenario for the Cowboys for the
What you
offseason.
got? Lay it on me.
All right. So first and foremost, I want them to lose every game the rest of the season. I want a top 3 pick. And so I want them to draft Shador Sanders,
Okay.
which will entice Dion to come be the coach.
I can see that happening.
I then want to trade Dak to either the Panthers or the Saints, another team who's going to have a top 4, top 5 pick, and hopefully they're dumb enough to take it and eat his contract.
Yep.
And then with that next pick in the top 4 or 5, I want them to draft Ashton Genty.
Yep. I can see that all happening. That's a good plan. And I forget, was it? It was it was Jake Floyd. Who fought last week? Mike Tyson and Paul.
Jake Paul.
Right. And Jerry Jones was he had a segment because it was in Dallas. And
I watched that.
You saw that? You saw what Michael Irvin said?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
So that kind of leads you to think that it could happen.
That it's possible, right?
Yeah, it could happen.
That wouldn't, because I was telling Ian, and you're a big football guy, Sean, and Ian kind of concurred with what I said. This is the worst Cowboys team I've seen in a long, long time. They do not do anything well. They can't defend the run. They can't defend the pass. They can't run. They can't throw. They have zero defensive intensity. They take the most boneheaded penalties at the worst possible time. Their receivers get absolutely no separation outside of CeeDee Lamb. They do not do anything outside of kicking field goals because Brandon Aubrey's amazing. Well, everything else they are atrocious at right now. And I know Cooper Rush is your boy, but it's such a big difference between him and Dak. And like I said, I was telling Ian.
I mean, it takes
I
a
want
lot
to
of
trade
skill
Dak.
to be an NFL starting quarterback. That's no
Absolutely.
disrespect. That's a very
No, of
rare thing to be good at, So
No question. And
Yeah.
Cooper Rush is an NFL caliber quarterback, but he's a
for sure,
backup NFL caliber quarterback.
for sure.
And so what I was telling Ian is it's no disrespect to Dak. I am so thankful for what he's done. He came in as a rookie and has had Dallas be in contention and be contenders basically every year of his career. But there comes a time where it's time to part ways. And I feel like this season epitomizes that.
Oh, absolutely.
They
agree.
both need a fresh start.
Yeah, no, I see things being really different in Dallas next year. It's going to be a completely different team. You're going to have a new quarterback, new start. It's going to be a fresh new beginning. Maybe a new coach, but I don't know. I feel like Jerry Jones and Michael Daniels.
It's got to be. I can't handle another year of Mike McCarthy.
You really think he's the issue?
No, 100% no. Jerry is the issue. There's no question about it that Jerry Jones is the issue, but Mike McCarthy doesn't have the backbone to tell Jerry that.
Yeah, Dion would be a different story.
Absolutely. Dion would be a different story.
Yeah, he would bring a whole new brand of football to the Dallas Cowboys.
Exactly. Obviously Jerry needs to step down as the general manager too. No question. Yep. He has lost it cognitively. Half of his press conferences, he's just stringing words together that barely make sense.
Yeah.
He's not there.
Yeah.
And obviously when he's the owner, president, and GM of the team, you can't say no to him. Mm-hmm. So I think he needs to step down, hire a real GM.
Yep.
And I think he needs to let Dion, if he hires him, take the reins and let Dion run the team.
Yep. And Dion's got to have that conversation with him. The problem, the Cowboys, they aren't cool anymore. They used to be that cool team, and they just lost that. And I feel like Dion can break that Cowboy cool.
See, I just remember them sucking my whole life. But going back to what you guys were saying about Dion and Jerry, I don't think he has to have that conversation with Jerry because he's already one of Jerry's boys. I don't think that he's going to have to. I think that Jerry, even though Mike McCarthy's been the coach for 6 years, I think
Mr. Blackwell. You said you remember them sucking your whole life. You realize they went 12-5 the last 3 years in a row.
Did I say no? Sorry. What I meant more so was no. You're right. No, they've always been like we've always talked about. They've always been one of those teams that's never been bad. I'm just saying I am not early enough or old enough to remember the glory days. I just remember them always just being kind of laughed at for not being able to get it done. I don't remember when the Cowboys were cool. I don't ever remember the Cowboys being cool. I'm not that old. That's
You've
all I
done
was
your
saying.
research, though. I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
No, I know.
Sean,
I get what
yeah,
Sean's
makes complete sense.
No, I get what Sean's saying. No, I'm just saying I came a little bit after that. So I would you and Sean might not more fond what I'm saying. You guys might have a better idea of how they really were America's team, which at this point, we just see the memes and shit like that. That's all I was saying. But no, the Cowboys, we always talk about it. The Cowboys have never been bad except for this year. This is the only year where they're just downright atrocious.
Awful. Yeah.
So how do you deal with that, Casey? I mean, I know it's kind of new territory for you.
So
Been kinda
yeah,
used
and
to
I've
it
been
since
talking about it
Super
for the
Bowl.
last few weeks on the
Yeah.
show. Like it's such an odd feeling having them just be flat out bad. Like I'm used to them choking in the playoffs. I'm used to that happening, but I'm used to the regular season being fun and enjoyable.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, if you watch over the past 3 years, Dallas rolled a lot of teams. Like they had one of the highest point differentials over the last 3 years of any team. Like especially like a subpar team, they floored them about 90% of the time. So it was fun to be able to watch that. And now to be on the opposite end of that is such a weird feeling. I don't know if you were here for this part. I was telling Ian earlier, the New Orleans Saints have more touchdowns this year in AT&T Stadium than the Cowboys do.
That's insane.
So don't the
That's an
Detroit
insane
Lions,
stat.
for that matter.
Yeah.
Jake Paul has more wins
Lions have
in
been
AT&T
destroying everybody.
Stadium.
I'll be right back,
Yeah,
fellas, and get my
Jake
food.
Paul has more wins in
Mhm.
AT&T Stadium in 2024 than the fucking Cowboys do.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. But while Sean's kind of going off and doing his thing, because we're definitely going to get him on the pick segment. We're definitely adding another column. I'm really excited that he's going to be there for this one. But no, what I meant was because, I wanted to kind of touch on what Sean was saying. Like the Cowboys used to be the cool team. I just always remember them. Like I remember them always being the butt of the memes. Like as long as I've been watching football.
Yeah. No, I get it. You're right about that.
That's
And
what
they
that's
are.
all I mean. Especially like it seems especially after that Romo bobbled snap, that's when I really remember them. Was that 06?
06.
Right, because that was a year after. Because we had beat
Celtics are up
the
20, by the way,
Really?
against the 15-0 Cavaliers. They are up
People were
20.
like, Cavaliers +7, book it. No, absolutely not. Celtics are a different beast. There's levels to this shit, and they're proving it tonight. And it's a NBA Cup game, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's and we're definitely gonna get onto the picks because I want to talk about the Paul fight, but I want to make sure that we're all in here for that. But
Did Sean
we'll
have to step away for a second?
Yeah, I think he said he had to go get food or something. But while
Okay.
we are, we'll talk about it a little bit later. But what did you think about that shit, dude? The Jake
The
Paul
Paul.
fight.
So I thought the first round or so was pretty intriguing. Mike came out and, by the scores card, Mike won the first 2 rounds. And then you could tell he was gassed. He put pretty much everything he had in those 2 first rounds. And then it was just a sloppy, unorganized fight after that. I mean, obviously, I didn't expect Tyson to win. It's a 58-year-old man versus a 27-year-old who's been doing nothing but training over the past 4 or 5 years. And people love to hate on him, which is fine. Like, I get it. He's an influencer. He's annoying. He's brash. He's all of that. But he's a good boxer who's professionally level trained and better than about 98% of the population of the United States.
Jake Paul, yeah.
Yeah. And so what did people expect to happen in that fight?
I don't know, man.
That-
That
Yeah.
shit.
That's what sells
That
it, though. You
shit
know
was
what I'm
crazy.
saying? It's the hope. The hope that
Of course, no, the hope sells it, and it was a great promotion. Like, Jake Paul's a great promoter. Like, there was a lot that went into that, and great that, Tyson got to step in the ring. But also, I don't know if you guys saw the fight in the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th round. You could actually kind
Yeah.
of see Jake Paul holding back too, because he didn't want to hurt Mike.
from the portions of when my Netflix was freezing, I was actually able to see that part. So
Was it
Like,
freezing live?
Oh
Oh, yeah.
God, yeah. I was
Freaking
watching it
give me
on
some of the
Netflix.
memes.
It was freezing every 30 seconds. Like they
Oh shit.
crashed the app.
I'm not surprised. The crazy thing is, I set an alarm and then I woke up and it was the second round of the Taylor fight. I had Taylor money ride line. The other girl got robbed, or Taylor by decision. The other girl got
That was
robbed.
a
I was pretty
great
happy about
fight
that.
between those two. Yeah. The two
Um,
women put on the best show of the night by a mile.
but when I woke up though, I was like, I turned my phone off. Didn't want to accidentally spoil it for myself, and I watched the fight. And I was excited to watch Tyson walk to the ring. I'm like, oh, this is it. That shit lasted like 30 seconds because
Yeah.
especially after the first, I kept holding out hope that he's gonna catch up with one. By the fifth round, I was like, "There's no way that he's getting this knockout." They had no business being out there. But like you guys were both saying, like that the hope is what sells it. And I know it's not gonna be the last one. I really hope this is him into those gimmicky ass fights. If he wants to be a boxer,
He wants to fight
like
Canelo, which I suppose would be the
he
fight
doesn't
that
deserve.
people want to see. No, he doesn't deserve to fight Canelo.
Fuck
Of
no,
course
he
not.
doesn't like no. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that like you fight an old ass man. The only actual boxer
It's
he
all about
fought,
money, though.
Tommy Fury, he lost.
Money talks.
Yes. Oh,
Oh,
they'll both do it for
yeah,
the
no,
money.
yeah,
No question.
yeah. No, that's all that matters at the end of the day. I mean, Canelo. I
Especially
don't
in
know,
this
man.
industry.
If they're trying to save the sport of boxing, they're not going to be able to do it like this.
No.
Oh, no,
Absolutely.
I agree. I'll tell you what I did like though is I do like the fact that it is on Netflix. I hope they try it again and learn from their mistakes because I do like that you can just get a fight like that and not have to pay-per-view.
I'm not no, yeah, you're totally right. And I think Netflix, even though they could have produced it and probably charged people for the pay-per-view. Number one, the amount of people that know about Netflix now. Number two, the people that probably signed up for a subscription and are just gonna forget to cancel it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of people that it brought to the play. I think at the end of the day, it'll be a great business move for Netflix. But let's hope they got that shit out of their system before we get those Christmas Day games.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Imagine that. Game
forgot
goes into
about that.
overtime, a 50-yard field goal, and right before he kicks it, it buffers, and you have to wait 45 fucking seconds to see if it goes in.
Did you see it was a video? It was like if Netflix broadcasted playoff games. And
Yeah,
it was the
I
Packers
saw
and the
that.
Cardinals, and that shit started spinning. It's like, let's go take a look at it again. And it started spinning. It's like unbelievable. But oh man. And the crazy thing is, I dude, I really was mad at myself for waking. I mean, it was what was it, 8 2-minute rounds? I'm mad at
Yep.
myself for even having wasted that much of my life watching that bullshit because that was bullshit. They but like you guys were saying, you said it perfectly. I couldn't have said it better. They sold people on hope. The fact that this man that a lot of these people watched when he was in his prime, and people like me, I've only seen highlights and I just heard the folk tales and seen highlights of how great he was in his prime. That he was gonna go out there and do something. He wasn't. If
Now let's not get it twisted, though. Mike Tyson in his prime would have slept him 30 seconds in.
Jake Paul said that he would have beat Mike Tyson at any stage in his career.
Yeah, that's delusional talk. Mike Tyson in his prime would have decapitated him.
Dude, I'm glad that they both got paid though. But what do you guys say that we get into the picks?
Oh, I am ready. You ready for the pick, Sean?
Yes, sir.
So, our Thursday night special, we have an AFC North showdown between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. And Sean, you are going to lead us off in this pick. Who do you have?
I'm going with the Steelers on that one. That's an easy one. Mike Tomlin, once again, like I was saying before, excellent coach. Russell Wilson doing a good job. They continue the winning going.
I agree with you completely, Sean. I'm rolling Pittsburgh on this one.
Now, I'd like to
don't even do it, Ian. Don't even do it.
Oh yeah, Sean, because I don't know how much you listen to the show. This year, just the same way that the Bucks were last year with Casey. They're my bad luck. For some reason, whenever I bet, I think I had Cleveland lost this past weekend, didn't they?
Yeah.
I got the Steelers, and Justin, I checked it earlier. He has the Steelers also. So literally, all four of us are going with the Steelers.
Which is not surprising. I don't think this game's going to be surprising either. I kind of think we're all going to be. I think we're all going to be on the same page for a lot of these games. I'm not even lying to y'all. The next game we have the Tennessee Titans heading in to the former home of Houston and playing the Texans, and I'm going to go with the Texans.
Yeah, absolutely. Texans, they continue. Wait, what happened in the last Texans game? I'm thinking the Lions, they lost. They won last game, right?
The Texans, yeah, they beat the Cowboys last night, 34-10.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I forgot the Texans were the other team. I was so focused on the Cowboys, I forgot who they were playing. But yeah, no, the Texans, they continue on. They keep winning too. I would love the Titans to win that game though for playoff reasons.
Hey, Casey,
Oh,
or one of you guys, if you guys could, because like I said, I don't have my phone in front of me. If you guys could do me a favor, shout out Justin's picks. I've got the Texans. I'm guessing he does too, but just shout out
Justin
his picks.
definitely has the Texans in that game. So for our next game, again, a game I think we're all going to be on the same page on. They haven't looked as strong over the past few weeks, but we got the Minnesota Vikings heading into Soldier Field to play the Bears. And I think I'm going to roll the Vikings on this one. They've kind of looked average over the last few weeks, but it's the Bears. So no matter what, they're going to find a way to blow it. Give me Minnesota.
Yeah, give me Minnesota too. It's going to be a really close game though. Like I wouldn't bet on this game. I wouldn't bet Minnesota or risk any like money because I do see a world where Chicago can win that game and kind of come back after such a tough loss next week. By the way, Chicago fans, I feel your pain.
Yeah, they lost the same way you did the week before.
There's Justin at Minnesota. I got Minnesota also.
I'm checking on Justin's right now. Justin has the Vikings. So for the next game, we have my pitiful, putrid, despicable Dallas Cowboys heading into Washington to play the Commanders. And since it's my team, I obviously go last in this one.
Commanders. You know, this is crazy. If we would have done this last year, it would have been like Cowboys next game.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
would have been Cowboys by 30, but
Yeah.
that's not how it is right now.
I almost
that's
typed
just
in
not how it is.
Cowboys. I
But,
almost typed in Redskins too. Goddamn, don't cancel this. Holy shit.
But yep, Commanders. I mean, what does it say? Commanders have played good football. Cowboys haven't, and that's the trend's
Yeah.
going to continue.
And Justin has the Commanders, and I also have the Commanders. It's not even going to be close. Game's going to be a blowout.
Commanders.
Next game, we have an AFC East showdown between Drake May and the New England Patriots heading into Miami to play the Dolphins, who have on a 2-game win streak and have looked a lot better since Tua came back. What say you, Ian?
Dolphins.
Dolphins for sure. I don't understand why people are so shocked that they're doing good now that Tua's back.
Yeah, absolutely. Dolphins, no question. I think this is the game where I'm not saying Drake May is going to get exposed by any stretch because I think he's going to play pretty well. But I think the Dolphins are going to blow him out of the water.
Who did Justin have? Dolphins?
Yeah, Justin has the Dolphins.
For sure. What we got next?
Oh, I think this one's going to get ugly, boys. I think this game's going to get massively ugly because I think they're going to come in pissed off and ready to roll. We have the Kansas City Chiefs heading into Carolina to play the Panthers. I got Chiefs, and I know I said earlier that the Chiefs just don't blow people out. I think that changes this week. I got the Chiefs massively in this one.
I got the Chiefs too. I think it's going to be close though. They have to prove to me that they can blow people out before I pick that they blow people out.
Did you vomit picking the Chiefs, Sean? Or are you okay?
Expert pick, man. It's just like if I'm gambling money or something on a sports team, and I pick the Chiefs.
Yeah,
the week that they played the Broncos, when we passed that game, Casey was like, "This game is gonna give our friend Sean a fucking aneurysm."
I did say that.
Boy, you were right. You just didn't think it'd be the way it was.
I didn't think it'd be that, dude. I honestly felt bad for you. I was like, damn. Like I was really thinking, like, dude.
I said it was going to be a close game too. I was like, it's going to be a really close game because the Chiefs just don't play people out. I think they're going to pull it off in the end, and Sean's going to have a fucking aneurysm. Oh, that's funny. Justin also has the Chiefs in this game. So for the next game, we have my bad luck team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are heading into MetLife to play Tommy DeVito and the New York Football Giants. They cannot jinx me when I pick them this time. They got Tommy DeVito playing. Give me the fucking Bucks.
These games are terrible, bro.
Yeah, this is a horrible slate.
Mhm.
This is a horrible slate for football.
Yep. I agree, though. Give me the Buccaneers, too. Baker Mayfield, at the beginning of the season, I thought he was playing MVP caliber football. I think him losing his receivers kind of hurting him that, but he's still a good player. And yeah, I think the Bucks win that game. Probably I wouldn't be surprised if they blow him out of the water on that one.
Give
Yeah,
me
that's
2
what I'm
seconds,
thinking,
boys.
Yep. But
I
Yeah,
can't
Tommy
foresee a world where Tommy DeVito can beat the Bucks. I mean, was their third string. I think what the Giants would do is, of course, I think this is the end of Daniel Jones in New York. And
Yeah.
so I think what they're trying to do in a sense is almost what I think the Cowboys need to do is just lose every game from here on out, draft high, get a quarterback. I could see easily the Giants going after Cam Ward.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that would be a great pickup for him.
Yeah, no, Cam Ward's a baller. He's been killing it at Miami.
Before we get, oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Ian. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say my bad. Before we get to the next game, who do you guys think is better, him or Shador? I think Shador slightly.
Shador slightly.
Yeah, Shador.
Not by like a
I
landslide.
haven't
by
watched
any
too
means.
much of their film, to be honest, though. They give you an accurate answer. But
That's
Cam
fair.
Ward's
No,
shorter,
that's
ain't
fair.
he? Cam Ward ain't that tall. Shador's more prototypical. He's like what, a good 6'3", 6'4". Cam Ward's balance is crazy. His numbers are good. Like the reason Miami lost wasn't because of Cam Ward.
I
His
agree
line was
completely.
doing terrible, but I don't know. Shador to me just he just fits the mold more. I could see Cam Ward struggling more early, but I'm not gonna get too into it because I haven't watched too much film. Just from what I've seen and the stats that I've kind of studied up on, I think Shador just. I think he what's the term I'm looking for? His ceiling, his floor is higher than Cam Ward's, in my opinion. I don't think Shador is going to be a bad quarterback. Not saying Cam Ward will. I just could see a lot more limitations with him because of just physically.
yeah,
No,
that
that's
makes
fair.
sense.
Yeah, no, great analysis, Ian. I think Justin, I'm gonna check, but I'm almost positive Justin has the Bucks in that game. I can't imagine any world where he was dumb and picked the fucking Giants. And yes, he has the Bucks. So for the next game, we have potentially what's looking like the clear-cut favorite in the NFC, the Detroit Lions, heading into Indianapolis to play the Colts.
Mm.
And Sean, what say you?
I think that's a trap game. I think the Colts find a way to win.
Damn, okay. I
Really?
disagree on that one, and I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Understandable.
And that's the last game of the 1 p.m. Eastern slate, and they're going to be in Indy.
I just know that place is gonna be rocking.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be rocking, absolutely.
Dude, the Lions have been beating the fucking brakes off of people.
Yes, they
Yeah.
have.
Colts still got Joe Flacco.
No, Anthony Richardson's back.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Anthony
forgot he did
Richardson's
play this
good.
last weekend.
I'm still going with the
Uh,
Colts, but if it was Joe Flacco, I'd feel more confident just because of his veteran status.
See, part of me feels like I'm letting the excitement of having Sean Garner join us this week influence my decision. I'm gonna go with the
Oh, don't
Colts
let
also.
Oh boy.
We got two going the Colts. Let's take a look at what Justin picked here really quickly. Justin has the Lions. So we have 2 for the Lions, 2 for the Colts. Now for this next game, we have Sean Gardner's Denver Broncos heading into Vegas to play Ian's Las Vegas Raiders.
How does this work? You said it's our team. Do we pick last, or how's that work? What are
Yeah,
we
you
doing?
pick
here?
Ian's
last.
not really a Vegas fan. I just say that every time Vegas is on and he gets pissed about it.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
Sean picks last in this one because it's your
Yeah.
team. I think that's what he was asking.
Yeah,
But
so Sean will go last in this one.
I'm betting Denver until the Raiders get a quarterback. I got the Broncos big.
Yeah, I got the Broncos in a massacre in this one as well.
I got the Broncos, but I actually think it'll be close. I don't think we can blow out 2 opponents back to back like that. I can't see
I
it,
think you
but
can. When it's the
it'll be
Raiders,
close.
I absolutely think you can.
Be happy, but yeah,
And-
nonetheless, I got the Broncos.
Justin has the Broncos.
Before we get to the next game, do you realize the only game that we've been different on is when me and Sean decided to go on and limit take the Colts? Other than these games are fucking atrocious, bro.
Yeah,
There's
they're
not a
really bad.
spread that's lower than I think 5. Well, the one that's like 3.5. Yeah, Minnesota's minus 3.5 on the road. Pittsburgh Thursday night is minus 3.5 on the road. Other than that, these spreads are are ridiculous. But let's hopefully this next game is going to be well, the afternoon slate. I'm looking. We have some better games. Go ahead, Casey.
Yeah, I mean it's more competitive games. I wouldn't call these like great games by any means, but for the next game, we have the Arizona Cardinals heading into Seattle to play the Seahawks. Look, Arizona has been pretty impressive throughout the course of this season. I just don't fully believe in them yet. By the way, the Cavs are on the run. They've cut the lead to 6. I am going to go with Seattle, though.
Yep, I'm gonna go with Seattle too. I don't like Arizona's defense at all. Their defense isn't that good. I think the Seattle Seahawks offense is going to tear them up. Geno Smith's gonna have a good game.
My rule of thumb is don't bet against Toddler Murray. I've got the Cardinals. I mean, they're both good, dude. I wouldn't be shocked if Seattle wins the game. I mean, it's a freaking what is that, a 2-point Seattle's -1, but
No, it's a close game.
got the
If it was in Arizona, I might sway towards the Cardinals, but I think especially coming off that big win last week against the 49ers on the road, I think the Seahawks are going to be charged up and ready for this one.
who does I know you guys both have the Seahawks. Who does Justin have?
Let me go back and check. That's actually one that I think Justin might have differ. Yeah, he has the Cardinals.
Yes, sir.
Jason Tatum has 5 3-pointers. I just bet on him to get 1.
Kind of fucking.
This game's actually getting me kind of worried. The Celtics were up 21. Now
I
it's down
needed
to
to
6.
get it to 400 for a promo.
You needed to get it to what?
I needed to get it to plus 400 for a promo because it was a no sweat bet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I added.
So you put a
Jason
bunch of
Tatum
other
1 to-
bullshit on there, and then you just threw that so you can put up the odds a little bit. Is that what you
Yeah.
did?
Yep.
That's fair. Totally fair, actually. So you have the Cardinals, right, Ian?
Yeah, I have the Cardinals. What the fuck is up with this court, bro? This
Like, it's the
green
cup-
ass.
It's the Cup Court, man.
Don't say it's the cup court. Like we've been doing this shit for 10 years. This is the second year of this bullshit ass in season tournament.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a
kinda-
big fan of it.
I kind of like the. I kind of like the.
It's
court.
better than just regular games.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's more
bring something
entertaining.
else to it.
Point differential matters too. So
It
you
helps
see
that
teams.
my Pistons are 2-0 in it too, so I'm not gonna.
It
lie.
also helps that Eric Spoelstra called a timeout when the Heat didn't have any left.
Jalen Rose was at that game.
Yeah, he got flashbacks.
He got flashbacks. So for the next game, we have the Philadelphia Eagles heading into SoFi to play the Rams on Sunday Night Football. That's by far the best game on Sunday. Ian? I'm going with the Rams.
Oh my bad, we picked last. Go ahead.
The Eagles versus the Rams, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, Eagles easily. That's the team that the Lions need to look out for. The Eagles are a good football team, definitely Super Bowl contenders.
Fuck the Eagles.
Wait, Casey, are you looking at the? Do you
They have the
any
greatest
idea?
player in football too.
Who?
The Eagles.
The greatest player?
The greatest play.
Oh, Philly.
Nah. You know what play I'm talking about.
Oh, the tush push
Yes, sir.
or the brotherly shove, whatever you want. No,
tush
Reggie
push.
Bush
Good
was
old
the tush
fashioned
push.
smash mouth football. I can roll with
Yeah.
that.
Give me
Case-
the Rams. I think the Rams coming off hot, not coming off hot, I suppose, because they just lost the week before to Miami at home. But I think the Rams have figured something out offensively. I think the Eagles' defense is torchable. And I think with Puka and with Cooper Kupp, I think the Rams are going to be able to get that done as long as they can keep Matthew Stafford upright and on his feet and give him a clean pocket. I think they can dice up that defense. And I think it's a huge coaching advantage for the Rams. I don't think Nick Sirianni is that good of a coach. I think this is going to be where the Eagles get outclassed.
Who did you have, Sean?
The Eagles.
Easily, he said, too.
Hey, Casey, are you aware that me and Sean are both on camera right now, and you're the only one that's not?
I am
Let me-
not aware of that.
Let me phrase that. So the Eagles easily. What I mean by that is I am easily picking them to win. Not that they'll win easily. Let me be clear.
Like, you're comfortable that they're going to have more points at the end of the football game.
Exactly.
Not okay. That's who does Justin have, Casey?
He has the Eagles.
All right. Sean has the Eagles. My pick. Check me out. You know what that means? Yeah, I got the
I actually
Rams.
don't because I can't see you.
I headbutted my camera with a little orange.
So you got the Rams. Okay, good.
Yes,
Good.
sir.
So me and Ian got the Rams.
This is gonna be a banger. This next game is gonna be a banger.
Oh, this game is going to be a banger. The two
Ravens.
Harbaugh brothers is what makes this game so exceptional to watch for Monday
Oh,
night.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it a Super Bowl rematch?
Uh,
N-
not
coaches,
team-wise,
yeah.
but coaches-wise,
Oh,
yes.
yeah, because Chargers. I'm tripping.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine.
Chargers, Ravens.
We have the Baltimore Ravens, who are also heading into SoFi, but they're going to be playing the Chargers in this one.
That's an easy game. Give me the Ravens.
I got the Ravens as well.
SoFi is just isn't a challenging environment, so the fact that it's on the road doesn't bother me, and I just think the Ravens are a better team. Could be close, but I think the Ravens are going to bounce back after a tough loss and get the W.
You got the Ravens as well, Casey. What does Justin have?
I will go back and check, but I'm like 99% sure he picked the Ravens. No, he has the
Ravens.
Chargers.
Yeah, I think I had seen that shit in the group earlier that he.
The
picked,
Ravens are just a force with that. The addition to Derrick Henry, which the Cowboys should have got, it's a crazy change.
He wanted to go there too. He wanted to be a Cowboy, and Jerry was like, "No, I like Rico Dowdle and 87-year-old Ezekiel Elliott."
In running back years, yeah, he's definitely 87.
Of course. It's like, yeah, if this was 2019, we'd have a great running back room with Dalvin Cook and Zeke. But it's 5 years from ago, Jerry. My God.
This one I've been going back and forth on. I've got Baltimore in a close one. One thing I do want to mention though is the Sunday night game and the following Monday night game. Those might be two back-to-back games where the road team has more. Baltimore travels pretty well. They're a pretty popular team. Where the road team has more fans.
Philly travels well.
Philly travels well. I mean, well, shit. The year that they won the Super Bowl when they came to LA, I think it was the game Carson Wentz got hurt. There was more Eagle fans there. As a Rams, like the Rams do have a pretty loud "Who's house?" But yeah, Philly travels well. And I think the Baltimore is going to do the same, especially for a primetime game. If it was middle of the day, I'm not sure, but primetime in LA, I think the Ravens are going to travel well. So we've all got Baltimore except for Justin.
Justin, who has the Chargers. Absolutely. Sean, that was great having you back for that pick segment right there, buddy. We've been missing you on this show during that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I missed you guys too. Feels good to be back. I'll definitely have to come back more.
Now, before we dive into the question, because we started the show a little bit late tonight, how up to date are you, Sean, on your Spartans hockey? Because you guys are looking damn good.
Yeah, number 2 in the country, I think I saw with the rankings. To be honest, it's so tough. I hate the coverage out here. And I don't know if it's just Michigan. I think it's more Midwest, but college hockey, unfortunately, I'm just going to say how it is. It's just not that popular out here. It's not as popular.
Because you guys have so much more. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, yeah.
So the networks just don't show it. But so the only way I can really keep track of it is if I got Big Ten Plus, which I don't feel like paying for that. So I just go on Twitter and look up the scores. So I don't know the team too much in depth, but I do see that they have been kicking ass and they beat BC at least once, who one of the best teams in the country, even though they had that situation with UConn. But yeah, no, they're number 2 in the country, right behind Denver. It's crazy.
Denver is a fucking machine.
I don't know if you've kept up with Denver at all, Sean. They are annihilating people.
I looked at when you guys said that in the group, I looked at their schedule to see what they've been doing. And then I saw they're gonna be coming to the Alphon, unfortunately, during winter break, but
Yeah,
sick.
that's a game I need to find myself to get to, especially because I fully expect Denver to be still the number one team in the country by then. And to
Yeah.
be honest, the way Maine's been playing, I absolutely still expect them to be top 5 at that time.
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah, Maine's been playing good. How many
But
losses do they have? They tied
2.
They tied Boston, right?
Yep.
One.
Yep. They have they're the only 2 like actual losses. Unfortunately, both came at BC,
mhm.
See, yeah.
which is a tough arena to play in. If I'm
I
not
can
mistaken,
imagine.
you guys played BC at home both games, didn't you?
Yep, that game was in East Lansing.
Yeah, yeah. I think you guys played them twice, right? You split, lost
Yep.
1, won 1.
Yep,
Okay, yeah. So that's ironic. 'Cause I think that's your only loss of the year too, was to BC.
correct. Yep.
Yeah, no, you guys are looking good, and I don't know if you saw, you guys had the number 1 rated goaltender in college hockey right now.
I did
You
see
are,
that.
they are
It's crazy.
on
Adam
a,
Nightingale, the coach of the MSU, just came in, and that man just did business, turned the program around. Because as long as I've known you, Casey, I mean, MSU hockey has been pretty mediocre. But yeah, no, they are back and they're kicking ass. It's good to see.
they are, and especially, I'm not saying that they. Actually, yeah, no, it's okay to say because it's just accurate. They've been a little bit down as far as football and basketball the past few years. Very
Yeah, they haven't.
un-Michigan State like.
Yeah, especially basketball, football. They haven't really been
Football, you
good
guys are
since
kind of always up
2015.
and down, aren't
They're
you? Like you have a
regaining
few good years, and
respectability.
then-
Except for that one random year of Kenneth Walker, they've been a shit show. But basketball, yeah, past few years has been kind of tough for MSU purposes. I'm still humble to be an MSU fan because I mean we're talking about a program who's made the tournament practically my whole life. I think I was like 3 the last time they didn't make it.
Of
but
course.
yeah,
Mhm.
definitely
Yeah, no,
had
still one of the top teams in the nation, absolutely. But as far as just expectation wise, they just haven't been the same over the past, I don't know, I'll say 3 to 4 years as they were the prior 10.
correct. You had that one year where they went to the Sweet 16, but come on, man, we're celebrating Sweet 16s now. This is MSU basketball.
That's
We're
not, yeah,
supposed
say
to-
that's not MSU like.
yeah, you're supposed to be
Now,
making Final Fours and championships.
with that being said, college basketball is very heavy on legacy coaches, and Tom Izzo is obviously a
Mhm.
legacy coach.
We're up by 10
does
right
their-
now against Sanford, by the way.
Does there come a time where, again, it's no hate, it's no disrespect, but it may be time to part ways with Tom Izzo in Michigan State just for a fresh voice and for him to get a fresh start?
Listen, Tom Izzo can leave whenever he wants. That man is Michigan State University. I don't know if you remember that speech he gave after that tragic shooting that they had on campus. He said,
of
I don't
course.
run the place. I am the place. Listen, MSU is, they don't know it. They don't realize it. They may have a president, but Tom Izzo basically is the president of that school. Unless they're really bad and they're like winning only like 3 games a season. Tom Izzo's here
Which
to
ain't
stay.
happening.
And I'm
No, I
fine
would
with
say that would
that.
never happen.
And I'm actually fine with that because here's why. Because at the end of the day, he might not be doing what he used to do as far as like in like maybe the early 2000s, 2010s, mid 2015s. However, he still brings in top recruits. And I'm
Of
with
course.
that. It's hard to win the national championship in basketball. Remember, Calipari only won 1 with Kentucky. Think of all
Which is
all the
crazy
amazing
to
teams
think about.
that he had. Yeah. But
Well,
Tom can leave whenever he wants. He's not going to.
Did you guys see Carmelo Anthony's son committed to Syracuse?
I didn't even
He
know
does not
Carmelo
pass
Anthony
the
had a
ball.
son.
Yeah, Kyan Anthony. He does not.
Now,
pass.
granted, I don't think he's going to be any Carmelo, but at the same time, that's pretty cool to see.
So he's
that a
going to win an NBA
Syracuse legend's
championship.
son. What's that?
So he's going to win an NBA championship then.
Yeah, because Carmelo never won it. That's fair. Look, if he wins Syracuse a national championship, I'll be pretty damn happy.
Score update: BC. I don't know if you guys realize there's college hockey going on today. BC is losing 2-1 against Providence at the end of the second period. Providence
Oh, wow.
just scored 2 goals. I didn't realize there was fucking games on tonight. Then I looked. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, is that normal for them to have a game on a Tuesday?
Yeah.
I thought they usually only played Friday, Saturday for the series.
No, they, in certain instances, it's not, I don't want to say it's normal, but it's not uncommon for them to have games midweek. It won't be a series where they play again tomorrow. It'll just be a 1-game matchup. Now,
Gotcha.
here's what makes college hockey the weirdest thing. BC is higher ranked, obviously, than Providence. However, Providence leads Hockey East over BC because of the points that you get from conference play.
That is interesting.
Who
So
are
they run
BC's losses
a point
against?
system too.
Well, BC lost to UConn, but they haven't played enough conference games to gain the points for the lead in the conference. So with college hockey, in a conference game, you get 3 points per win. And so I think Providence has played a couple more games than BC in the Hockey East standings. And so therefore they are higher in points.
Don't sound too crazy. I mean, there's sometimes where technically, I mean, no, I get what you're saying. It's kind of a weird concept, but there's sometimes in college basketball where a team can be ranked number 3 in the country, but they, well, I guess it is different a little bit than college hockey. I was gonna say 'cause you could still have a worse winning percentage than somebody that's not ranked, but college hockey it probably will happen a lot more frequently just because the point system. You know, basketball you can either win a game or lose a game. College, I was actually I just figured out the college. So it's 3 points for a win, whether it's in regulation or overtime, right?
Correct.
Right, whether regulation or overtime. 2 points for a win in a shootout. Right, and if it goes to a shootout, it's 1.4. Don't tell me. It's 1.4 if you lose
In a shootout.
in a shootout, and then it's no points if you lose in overtime or regulation.
Correct. So even though Maine lost the shootout, it technically doesn't, I mean, it doesn't even really go down in the record books as a loss. It goes down as a tie. They just don't get the secondary point.
It's kind of like NHL. NHL is similar.
So
how is the points then? It's 3 points for a win, 1 point for a shootout loss or overtime. Oh well, no, overtime and shootout are two different things. I'm guessing 2 points for overtime loss, 1 point for a shootout loss, or maybe it'd be the other. Fuck.
I'm not exactly sure how that would work with the NHL, to be honest.
2 points for a win in the NHL. It's 1 point for a tie, and then 1 point for an overtime loss.
Okay.
So, and the shootout win is an overtime win.
That makes sense.
Points.
I miss when they
I
used
look
to
it
do
up.
ties in the NHL back when I was a kid.
They used to. I think they
hated
switched the rules.
Ties.
Yeah.
Hated ties, dude. Especially back when I had season tickets to Maine hockey. There was nothing that I hated more than getting hyped up for a big game, only for it to end in a 2-2 tie.
The only sport where a tie makes sense is soccer.
Soccer. 100%. No question.
How does it make more sense? I'm curious as to your reasoning.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Why does it make more sense? I don't know. I guess when I'm watching USA soccer, and I watch USA, I care. Like, I get mad if they lose, but if it's a tie, I don't know. I guess it's I want, you know what? I think it's the point system. For some reason, because USA soccer, if you're watching USA soccer, right, and you're watching the World Cup, you know you're benefiting from that tie. And there's a small amount of games, whereas like a hockey season, a tie, I don't know how the points were back then, but it's a long season. But it's more beneficial because it's such a short span of games. I guess
absolutely
that makes sense. Yeah.
No, that's beautifully said. Well, what do you boys say we move on to the question?
Let's do it.
And
good old question segment. I missed this question.
Oh, man, you have missed some really good ones, Sean. We have had some long-ass discussions on these questions before.
We still don't know how to close a show.
Not at all. We can't. So, you know what? Sean, we're going to leave this one up to you. It doesn't have to be thoughtful. It doesn't have to be insightful. Just any random sports question that would you rather sports question, any type of sports question you can think of. Lay it on us.
That's crazy. You're really putting me on the spot. All right.
Ask Ian, bro. I come up with really good ones on the spot. I think you can do it too.
We'll wait.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, let me think here. I don't want to ask one that's already been asked.
For example, I'll give you one, and you can answer it if you want to while you're thinking of this. I think last week or the week before, I asked Ian, would you rather be a role player on your favorite team or a star player on a team that you hate? And I told Ian I'd rather be a paraplegic than play for the Eagles.
I told Casey I'd rather be a disabled water boy and people throw trash at me than play for UCLA.
That's an interesting one. All right. Yeah, no, give me a second.
Oh, you know,
So-
while you are thinking about the question, and you can turn the volume down if it's distracting you, I would like to share my experience when I went to that college football game this weekend. This seems like the perfect time to plug
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So I went to Central Arkansas versus Southern Utah, and it was here in Conway, Arkansas, and it seemed pretty cool. They had the band, everybody was really into it before the game. I think I sent you guys a video of like the purple smoke.
I got my question.
And
Keep going. You're cool. Now, you helped me figure out my question just now.
Okay. But decent game. They had to do make a crazy one-handed catch, but maybe I just had my expectations too high. But that shit was turned down, man. It was kind of dead. Like the purple and silver field is really cool in person, but it was like I've watched too many SC. I was probably, hyping up my expectations too much, but I watched so many of the SEC Big Ten. Obviously, I didn't expect it to be like that, but I expected people to. I mean, it's still FCS. They still play on ESPN Plus every week, so I'm expecting it to be at like, nah, man, like that shit was dead. Like people just seemed like they. I want to say like people seemed like they weren't watching the game, but like it was barely. Like, I don't even fucking go there. I'm not even from here, and I was cheering more. Granted, they had to finish out my parlay, but even if they didn't, like I'd still cheer for the team.
Right.
That's funny. So, FCS, huh? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. But like I said, I was at Illinois for MSU Illinois last
Yeah, you said
Saturday, and
that.
it was I mean,
How
it was
is
a
that
packed
environment?
house. It's weird, man. It's like a really big high school game. I
That's
like
how,
it.
that's
Like
exactly how the Central Arkansas game felt. That's
Yeah.
exactly how I described it.
I like it though because like Illinois' like field is actually pretty dope, but it's just so different than like an
Southern South
SEC Alabama game or
Of
you
course.
know what I mean? Or a game at like University of Florida. Like
That's
it's
what I
so
was thinking.
more
That's probably
chill.
why. Like I don't know, but yeah, I've Champaign, their stadium, it looks really cool. Like I've seen
It
it
is
on
cool.
TV before.
It's cool. But yeah, no. So my question is, we've probably asked this before, but I'm gonna ask it again because I forget your guys' answers, and I love this one. What are a couple? You can name more than one, but just a few stadiums that you want to go to that you haven't been to yet.
Oh, really good question.
Alphond for me, it's one of them.
Yeah, you got to, Ian. I'm telling you, there's nothing like a college hockey game at the Alphond, especially when it's a highly anticipated game. There's just nothing like it as far as college hockey standards go. The Breslin definitely would be up there. Not even saying that because Sean's on there, but I've seen how crazy that stadium can actually get, so that's definitely up there for me.
Yeah.
Arrowhead for sure.
Mhm.
That sets decimal records every playoffs for how loud it gets, so that would be absolutely incredible. And being part of the swamp in Florida, I think that would be absolutely amazing. There's so many like classic stadiums that just people need to go and venture to. I'm not even
Yeah.
going to say AT&T Stadium because that's more of a tourist destination than a football stadium at this point.
I feel that.
What about you, Sean?
Mine, man. So I wouldn't actually mind going to Arrowhead. It would be fun to compare it to Seattle. Because I went to Seattle a couple years ago and Russell Wilson's return. That was crazy. USC, and I'm not just saying that because Ian's here. Coliseum is just so historic. There's so much history at the Coliseum. Jesse Owens, USC, just as a school, as an institution, would be an interesting institution to see. Just the history of it. So, yeah, I'm gonna roll with those two. We're gonna roll with the Chiefs and the Coliseum. USC.
Great answer.
And the Cavaliers cut the lead to 2 with 7 minutes remaining on this Pac-Man ass court.
Let's go. The Celtics can win, just don't win by over 5.5 points. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, they're missing. Like, I mean, yeah, no, I like the way you asked it because I think previously when we did it, it was like one stadium, but I like the word because there's too many.
There's
for me
so many to
personally.
answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lambeau.
You guys think of more. Feel free to throw them
Oh,
out.
Lambeau's a great answer.
Lambeau,
going-
Wrigley, Fenway. I've never been to Dodger Stadium, believe it or not.
I'm thinking about if the Broncos make the wild card. I don't care if I go solo. I'm thinking about taking a trip wherever city it's in, Airbnb, and going to the damn game.
That'd be a Who would
It
they
could either
probably be facing? Who's the second?
Could be
Because
Buffalo,
Kansas Buffalo
City.
or Baltimore probably. Because I don't think Kansas City is going to suffer the 1 seed. They're still a
would-
game up, and
It would be either Kansas City, Buffalo, or Pittsburgh.
Baltimore. Oh yeah, Pittsburgh. Yeah, that's true. Actually, I can see Pittsburgh falling off. To be honest, not like dramatically where they missed the playoffs, but falling
We'll
out of the
see.
lead of the AFC North. But yeah, either one of those, any one of those stadiums
Yeah.
would be phenomenal.
I would love to go to
Imagine-
Buffalo.
Imagine Buffalo for a playoff game.
See the tailgating.
Oh my god, dude!
I hope it's a snow game too.
That would be.
And I heard from Buffalo fans like they're crazy, like they have fun, but they're also like super respectful.
Yeah, that's how
Like they're
Seattle
not going to
fans
shit
were,
on you for being a
honestly.
Broncos fan. They're just passionate about the Bills. You know,
Yep.
They'll
That's how
talk
Seattle
shit
fans were.
friendly, but they're not going to be fucking ignorant.
that's how Seattle was.
Mhm.
There's
The
nothing
Miami
wrong with that. Like,
Hurricanes. That's the opposite. Oh my god, that's the worst.
Oh
fan
yeah,
base
you went
ever.
to a Miami Michigan State game in Miami. Yeah, man.
how was
they're-
that?
Really cool actually. Dolphin Stadium is awesome. I had a good time out there in Miami. I'd go again. The U. Not a stadium I
back up
expected to go to in my life, but yeah, I was there.
Didn't your dad just tell the Miami fan good game and he like flipped him off or some shit like that?
Not to my knowledge. If I said
I
that,
could have
was
swore you had
wasted or
told me that
something.
like you guys were
Made some
walking
shit
out the
up.
stadium and your dad was like, "Hey, good game," and the guy was like, "Fuck yeah,"
That
or
would
something because you guys beat
that wouldn't
them.
be that that is a Miami Hurricane thing, bro. Those
Yeah, it
I'll tell you what
absolutely
did
is.
happen. We were walking. I was walking with my brother, right, in the intercourse. Every single stadium we go to, we call it the walk. We just like to walk around the whole stadium. It's usually like at halftime or something. And with Miami, we were just walking, minding our own business, and like somebody went up to my brother, and I forget he just said trash. We ignored him.
Oh, that's what you were telling me. Yeah, that's the story I remember you telling me about.
You
Yeah.
know, It's
Just
such
out
a
of nowhere?
weird, toxic environment there. It's crazy. Unlike
Miami is
the-
fucking weird.
You guys were just walking. He walks up to you guys and goes trash.
Yeah, he just goes up to his ear. He's just like trash, and walks
What
away.
the hell is wrong with people?
And didn't you guys beat the piss out of them in that game too? I had
Yeah.
Miami money line if I remember correctly.
It felt good to win that game.
I can imagine
Trash.
That was a good question,
Oh.
Sean. That was a really good
So
question.
random, man.
The Alphine, like I said, up there for me. Shit, dude, there's so. I mean, Death Valley, LSU, like the Coliseum.
Oh my
I've
God, Death Valley. Yeah, absolutely.
I've passed by the Coliseum, like right by where we went to a little science field trip. That every fucking Justin's probably been to that shit. Every kid in Southern California goes there for a field trip. But they've done so much renovations to the Coliseum, man. It's I've never been to the Raiders Stadium.
You know, another good one that'd be is Lincoln Financial.
Like in financial.
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Yep.
I heard their fans are assholes.
That's why it'd be good. I'd go there wearing a Micah Parsons jersey.
They threw a snowball at Santa Claus, man.
That's
Yeah,
that's
they
always
cheered when Michael Irvin broke his neck. They cheered.
Yeah, the Santa Claus thing with the snowballs, that's always what I revert to when they talk. And then I've seen people on YouTube and shit like, "Oh, well, you're just going off of what you hear. You don't really know if it." I've seen videos of you guys harassing people for no
Yeah,
reason. You didn't
Philly
see the
fans
Minnesota,
are assholes.
but hey, that's what makes sports great. You got to have some of them, and
Mhm.
you got to have.
Celtic fans are assholes too.
I am a delightful joy, Sean.
You are, but I'm just talking about the fan base as a whole. They don't have the greatest rep. They're just like Patriot fans, but the Patriots are good. And let me tell you, I do respect my Lions fans that are in my circle, but the crazy ones that I see online, they're getting that way. Oh my goodness.
You must see so many bandwagon Lions fans now
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
wouldn't have been
something like
caught
that.
dead wearing Lions gear 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they've been trying to recruit me, so that's not gonna happen.
I say that ain't happening, is it? You would walk right into Ford Field with a Bo Nix jersey on and a big ass smile.
Oh yeah, easily.
Well, I think that was a great show, boys. Probably
Awesome.
time to wrap it up here. You know, it's 9 o'clock here on the East Coast.
Watch the rest of this game.
Yeah, watch the rest of this game, go to bed, get up and go to work because that's how life is.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unless a few more people can subscribe to the podcast, and by a few, I mean we only got
About 45 million more.
Who even subscribes to this shit? We got like 4 subscribers, if that.
Those
I
are
mean,
the
I know
true
I
ones.
subscribe.
Those are the real ones. Those
Those
are
are
the
the
ones that
real
get
ones.
backstage passes at the events.
Oh yeah, when they make it big, shout out my friend Sabrina. She actually listens to every show. Like, so shout out to her, and shout out to I know Casey forces his wife to listen to it. And everybody
do.
else that listens to it. Every time I upload it, man, I feel bad because I just imagine you yelling at babe, Mixed Reactions uploaded again.
No, it's not like that. It's just on a random day after the upload, if we're on a drive or something like that. I'm like, hey, yep, time to listen to the show.
Good show, guys.
Great
Yes, sir.
show, boys, and I will catch y'all on Tuesday again.
Yep. Catch you guys later.
Later, boys.
Yes, sir.